Good evening. My name is Cipriano Ortega, and here we are once again with Sacred Voices once a month open mic. Today is, I always have to look at my calendar even though I know what it is. Today is February 11th on a snowy February day. Monday's Valentine's Day. Take that with what you will. We'll see if there's love poems tonight. That's why I'm wearing my red shirt for tonight. It's my way of promoting amore. But yes, we have a lovely list of performers tonight with our featured guest poet, Akasha Cotto. Will be performing as our featured poet tonight. Very excited about that. A couple of my friends on tonight as well too. And yes, so we can just get the ball rolling here. First up, we have Sage Helperman. Go ahead and take it away, Sage.
Hey guys, I usually play guitar, but I'm also ukuleleist, if that's a real word. So I'm just gonna kind of play a couple or few ukulele songs for y'all. Um, I'm gonna try to play an original song that I wrote a while back, if I can remember it. There's no title, but it's a fun one. Oh, you can tune it up real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, it's better. All right, here we go. Sorry, kind of still out of tune. All right, that should be better. All right. All right, thanks, y'all. I'm gonna kind of do some like finger picking style jazz stuff real quick. Thanks, Joe. That's all the time I got. Thank you for having me. My name is Sage Helperman. I'm a guitarist and also a live painter.
Thank you very much, Sage. Yeah, the ukulele is always a fun instrument, very much so. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. So up next, Misha, would you like to go next?
Hello, it's my Shay.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, can I
My
sing?
Shay. My mistake. My Shay. Yes, that's right.
You're fine.
Yeah, thank you very much. And what are your pronouns, my Shay?
I use they, them, and him pronouns.
Fantastic. Well, welcome very much to the Sacred Voices open mic, and go ahead and take it away.
Okay, I just have one poem today. It's not completely finished, but this is what I have so far. Being unable to walk for 123 days changed my life. I've always been in chronic pain, hips anchoring themselves to the ground, always sinking into quicksand as I try to run from the femininity that they hold. Shoulder and back pain from consistently cradling my inner child, the feeling of them prying through my ribs just to peek at the outside world. She's afraid of the outside world. He always carries a lump in his throat while talking to strangers, suffocating under that concrete foundation of insecurity and anxiety that they've built themselves on. Borrowing tools of anti-fatness and misogynoir from society. What a fucked up house this has come to be. Being unable to walk for 123 days taught me that some things you just cannot beat. Beating my face for 3 hours before a show just to show up to a flight of stairs that don't care about my disabilities. No matter how determined I am, there are some things that I cannot beat. Being unable to walk for 123 days taught me a different type of autonomy. Not the kind where I use my physical body, but the kind where there have been meetings held between Andy, Danny, and my Shay. Andy's always hesitant. She's trembling and panicking. She always hates being pulled from within. Andy's stuck in 2011 with acquainted hands gripping her throat. My Shay tells her to let go, but she's still learning how not to choke. Danny is the life of the party, never shows up empty-handed, a bottle of rum for us all to share, but he always drinks the most. My Shay is always running late, trying to please someone, always doing the most. And Danny reminds them to take a second and breathe. This is my current life, my own 20-something. That's what I have so far. It'll be done. I don't know, whenever it's done. I have an upcoming show with Chrysalis House on the 20th at Clock Tower. It's Hamilton. It's a parody of Hamilton. That's the only thing I really have to plug.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That sounds really cool. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit more about it? I just think it's genius, so I'd love to hear.
Yeah. Actually, the script is written by Shanae, and it's basically told from Maria's point of view and like a femme's point of view, and just critiquing Hamilton.
Yeah, that's great. I'm all for that. Definitely. Well, thank you very much, Maisa. I appreciate your time and your beautiful poem. It was very, very profound. Speaking from myself, having experienced chronic health issues, it resonated very much with me. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who else has joined us. Let's see. I think this is all we have. Let's check the time here. All right. So, we're waiting on Vinicia as well too. Have you heard anything from her yet? Okay, sounds good. Oh, Vishwa, I know you wanted to go last, but I think you're the one who's up next, if you don't mind filling the silence with your beautiful poetry.
Oh, am I up next?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. This is my good friend Vishwa, and he is a poet as well too. And yeah, go ahead and take it away. I love hearing your poetry.
All right. Okay. I'll start with this piece called "A Decade of Death and Darkness." How many pieces am I allowed to narrate?
2 to 3, yeah, and depending on the time length as well. So you get about 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, cool. I'll start with this piece called "A Decade of Death and Darkness." A decade of death and darkness. Days went by like wild raccoons on a run. They would climb on me, ask me questions. I had no answers, but they kept climbing, and my friends would piss on couches and sleep naked on park benches. Days went by, a decade of death and darkness. Loveless, we stood on side roads and bus stands, and even the hookers kept their distance from us. A decade of death and darkness. Some days there was fat under my t-shirt, and some days there was no food in the kitchen. A decade of death and darkness. Clean shaven, lost, and underweight. Changing shapes like an octopus, but only for nobody to recognize me. Drunk on wine at 6 a.m. and going to work at 8, where I stood when the sun was at its peak. They always tried to kill me when the sun came out. Waking up to God, some days a drunken God, and the others not waking up at all, disappointed by it on every step, as men woke up only to please those who were dead long before the morning sun showed up, as the spineless fell in love quicker than meth heads gave away their souls, as the drunk civilization woke up each day without bones and faces and ears, as I saw the heroin whores losing their beauty with every shot, as the tarot readers only kept showing me the 10 of swords and 5 of pentacles, as the losers kept winning, as the lovers kept cheating, and the unwanted stood bitter and hurt, as the sisters left for a warmer land, as the sunless mothers wept, and as I kept holding on to the stark terror of my soul, a decade of death and darkness passed away. That's it.
Thank you very much. You want to share one more?
Sure. Okay.
That was
I
wonderful.
can try.
Yeah, your imagery is always quite vivid.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can
and share
try. Okay, I can. Yeah. Just hold on, please.
Yeah, no worries. I know how it is to scroll through your phone trying to find one that's presentable. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one's called My Mother Eats Like a Whore. My mother eats like a whore, Jesse Jones said. I don't like the way she chews. She's like a goat waiting to be fucked. Isn't that funny? Nobody laughed. The mother looked away in indifference. She sat across the yellow wall, smoking her cigarette. Jesse Jones laughed at his own jokes. He blew up a marriage, a house, and a job after they diagnosed him with depression. They killed him before he could kill himself. Jesse Jones loses more in a day than you have lost in 1 decade. Nobody came looking for Jesse Jones. I only saw him because I was paid to see him. An unemployed white man has a lot to say, and very often it is everything but the truth. But that's okay, the ones with jobs don't flatter me much anyway. Jesse Jones, I know this will never find you because you can barely fucking read, but I hope your mother has improved her eating habits and Europe is not a country. That's it.
Thank you very much, Vishwa. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about where, not of obviously in great detail, but a little summation of what you've done for a living over in Canada? Just a little bit about yourself, because I think if there's anything that really shows people where your inspiration comes from to write your poetry in such a way.
Right. Well, I work with a lot of homeless people and just people that have no family and are constantly on drug addiction. And yeah, it's that's where I take my stories from. I live around them basically. All of that I write is what I see, and yeah, these are just people that I work with.
Thank you very much for sharing your poetry. It's always a very stark perspective on the problems with both of our nations. All right. So let's see if anyone else new has joined us. Aston, are we waiting for anybody in the waiting room? Yeah, Akasha, as long as you're comfortable with that, or we can wait as well too, whatever you'd like.
I'm perfectly happy with going last. I'm okay.
All right, yeah. So do you want to wait a few more minutes then until we?
Sure,
All right,
sure.
sounds good. Let's see here. And Ileana, I don't think you do. You want to share anything this evening? I think you expressed to me that you just wanted to be an audience member, not to call you out, but
No worries. I'm just here to watch. Thank you.
all right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we can wait a few minutes here. Yes, of course. And yeah, first and foremost, I want to talk to the audience out there who will visit this either are watching now or in the future and talk about the organization Sacred Voices. We are a nonprofit who promotes mainly poetry, but also other expressions of art such as music and visual arts. And we offer classes and camps and also just open mics and ways to show and showcase particularly POC people of of different places around the world and also locally, particularly local talent. And we try to showcase all the local voices that we feel are very important to express to all of our communities. So, and yeah, I mean, I think we're already past all the Colorado Gives days and all those things, but we're always open for donations and such. And we do think we have a board meeting coming up pretty soon here, and we're going to discuss things that'll be happening. So stay tuned. We have a couple things I think on the horizon that'll be offered, such as courses and classes, more in-person open mics, and probably little celebrations here and there is what we're looking at. So yeah, and then myself, I'm Cipriano Ortega. I am a local Denver native performing artist. I am primarily right now more so in the music realm, but I definitely combine beat poetry, jazz, and noir film in my music. And probably next time maybe I'll share some stuff. I shared some stuff last open mic, but tonight I just wanted to just sat back and be the host because it's sometimes a lot to take on both tasks. But it's always a pleasure to be here with everybody, for sure. Yeah, any announcements or anything, Austin, that I may have been forgetting? Yes, definitely. It's always a bit unpredictable. Yeah, earlier today, I just looked out the window. I'm like, oh, it's lightly snowing. I saw a couple things going down here and there. Then all of a sudden, it became a huge storm. And I texted Aston later, about 5 o'clock, and I was like, I don't know. But I'm glad that we could still do it and we have the capability. Another thing that I want to express to the audience out there, anybody who's tentative or curious about performing, we're always welcome to new performers. And typically, what is the official title, Aston, of the place that we go to? Is it the Rocky Mountain Public Media, or did they change it again? It seems like the name's always changing. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, what we offer in terms of our open mics when we do them in person is we have a professional, essentially a television studio where we can, have multiple camera angles and high quality performance stuff. So if anybody's ever tentative, make that a motivation for yourself because it's a beautiful place to do your performances in for sure. All right, it is 7. Let's see if we want to. See if Vinicia still joining us. Vinicia, any news on that? Austin? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd like to welcome Akasha Cotto as our featured poet for the evening. And if you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, we'd love to hear a bit more about you.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
My name is Akasha Cotto. I go by pronouns she, her. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I've lived in Colorado under 10 years. Um, I write primarily poetry, currently working on 2 manuscripts, one focusing on 3 generations of Black womanhood, mental illness, poverty, survival, and resiliency. And I've been working on these manuscripts for several years. The second manuscript is kind of like my take on the state of the world, um, and doesn't necessarily give answers, but just kind of more of a dialogue approach. So, yeah.
Sounds great. That's fantastic. And will these be published soon, I presume?
My goal is to work on these for I guess, the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not any concrete plans to publish just yet, but still working on it.
That's good. Yeah, that's always good to have a work in progress. Yeah, but do let us know when they are available for consumption. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and do you have a social media, anything that you'd like to share in terms of keeping in touch?
Yeah, mainly my Instagram is AAKOTO80.
Sounds good. Perfect. I'll definitely give you a follow myself for sure. Well, without further ado, please take it away. We'd love to hear your work.
Okay, so the first piece is called Another Day, Another World. Um, okay, here goes. Another day, another world, not fit for my kind. Days where America asks, "You're still here? You're lucky to be alive. So, what are you going to do? How are you going to serve us today?" I say, "I'll wear the mask you tell me to keep myself safe from the other Americans. But I'm still Black in this pandemic, and ain't no mask going to protect me from you. I need more than 6 feet. I need more than gloves. There's not a sanitizer that I can buy to cleanse me of the virus of anti-Blackness. Another day, another world tells me who and what is essential and what can be let go, returning to their unaffordable rental coffins. What is happening is so American. White people are protesting their rights to return to the old normal, to be served cheeseburgers and haircuts. They miss their lattes. They miss the service of the lesser thans, the ones who are a paycheck from homelessness. They miss knowing they can walk into any establishment armed with privilege, rage, and ammo and walk out the same. The second piece is called When the Black Women. When the Black women decide to not give a damn about this country, when the Black women decide they deserve better than this country, when the Black women decide they can build something so much greater, heaven is not here, love is not here, justice is not here. This is all there is not good enough. But damn, we ain't supposed to fathom Black women leaving us, right? They should be so grateful. They are mules, right? Justice isn't overnight. It's never night nor day, right? Well, Black women just need to, well, Black women have never. Well, the problem with Black women is, what if there were no mules to make sure you got right with God? What if there were no mules for you to crucify? What if there were no mules for you white folk had to carry your own load? Silence, then laughter. What if there were no mules to be your friend, to make you look good when you need to be seen as the ally slash savior? Slow cackle. What if there were no mules to lay their lives on the line for every protest, to do the work, to be the healers, to be the guarders, with no name, no way to support their families on the promises of milk and honey? What if there were no mules to open the doors, cook the meals, and give you the knowledge? What if there was no Black girl magic? And the next one is called Mule slash Mammy's Heart. I have a heart, and it's been a fool's heart, a used woman's heart. So I know what I say. You see me and you want to know what you can take from me. I'm minding my business. I don't care about yours. No, you can't be my man like that. It don't work like that. You're missing your mammy. You're mad at me because you can't support yourself. You think every woman is your sister and you're going to take you in her home and let you rest on her bosom until you get yourself together. You're missing your mammy. I ain't got much left in me to hold on to this world. We've been broken. We keep the broken in us because we don't know what else to do. Some of us, we so close to suicide, or we so close to homicide, we get pushed around. Someone wants to see what they can get away with. If they can talk some shit, if they can put their hands on us, if they can treat us differently, if they can make us feel so low. Everyone wants to feel like they got some sort of power against someone else. Many of us, we are just walking around like, I wish a nigga would. I wish a pig would. Anybody. How much more of this life like this am I supposed to take? Am I supposed to just get a much better job? I'm trying to define myself. I'm trying to educate myself. I'm trying to not be against myself for someone else's so-called greater good. I'm trying to clear my soul. I'm trying to repair my heart. I'm trying to let the love in. I'm trying to write poetry. I'm trying to live in this world. I'm trying to perfect my hustle. I'm trying to not kill no nigga, but it's hard. I'm trying to not start no fires at the police station. I'm trying not to get too out of hand, but it's hard. I'm trying to think of the good times when I make my coffee. I'm trying to be grateful for my home, the food and the warmth. I'm trying not to be consumed by my loneliness, the darkness in my heart from being in this country for so long, from the things I went through as a kid. I'm trying to not do to others what others have been doing to me. I'm trying to find the good, at least not make shit worse. Goddamn. I tell you. Things to tell Black girls. No one tells you to love yourself, to really love yourself. They tell you to close your legs and mouth, get that education, get that money, and always carry the world on your shoulders. No one tells you what self-love really requires when everyone and everything around you doesn't love you. They don't know what love is. When they speak of Black girls and Black women, the way they do, when they go silent on our deaths and daily destructions, when they contribute nothing but agony, jealousy, toxic Black masculinity, toxic Black femininity, toxic white femininity and masculinity. So here goes. When I say I love myself, That means I no longer have anything to do with my mother and her sisters and their lives. That means I no longer have anything to do with their heavenly Father. That means I am no one's black sheep, no one's mule, no one's little girl. That means I walk away from what I can, what disrespects and diminishes my spirit. That means I will not play the mammy, the leftovers, the dumb black chick. That means that takes care of everyone without reciprocity and respect. That means I will gladly take myself out of any so-called revolution that just wants my Black body to be sacrificed for their cause. I will work through my issues on my sexual identity. I will work through the layers of shame and self-hatred. And the last one is called boundaries. Boundaries will save your life. Boundaries is life. Close the door, walk away. Sometimes you can't fight anymore for the ones you love. Sometimes doing anything will kill you. You didn't even say you needed another chance. You just took it, laid all your grief, brought me right back to the desert of my heart. I'm tired, too tired. I don't care anymore. Nothing to give, nothing to take. I'm returning your grief back to you. I'm returning your excuses back to you. I'm returning your childhood trauma back to you. I'm walking away because it hurts too much to even breathe. Fight for more. I got to fight for so much more than this never ending danger. I've already lost you. I lost you. I lost you. I owe you nothing more from my heart. I owe you nothing from my tears. I owe you nothing more from my patience. I owe you nothing with my care. I owe you nothing because it's all killed me. I owe you nothing. I know you want more, but this heart won't open, not even for you. Boundaries will keep your friends from showing up anytime, using you, everyone using you as the good friend with a good heart who can always stand the hurt. Boundaries will let the world know you ain't the one, no matter what they say. You just ain't the one. Family can steal from you. You ain't the one. Family can tell lies on you. You ain't the one. Boundaries will keep your mama from burning down your crib. You've gone more than far enough. You've been a fuck up better than anyone needed you to be. You don't need to hurt me anymore. I don't care what anybody says. You don't need to hurt me. And that's it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Akasha,
Thank you.
for your sharing. That was fantastic. Tell us a little bit more about, for the generality of the question being that I'm going to say is that, your creative process and what got you, well, first off, what got you started in just writing poetry? What drove you and motivated you to just release this into the world in such a very personal, therapeutic way?
I've been writing for most of my life. It actually started for me writing in my journals, and it just kind of transitioned to writing my own poetry because I always gravitated towards that. I wrote for almost a decade, just writing poetry, writing songs, attempting to write movie scripts, whatever. But I just write for myself. I didn't really have an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as I started working on these pieces, I was very moved by certain forms of music and theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I and certain pieces may sound musical, and certain, you know, pieces may feel like snapshots of film.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I tend to think about it.
Yeah, as do I. Yeah, I very, very much noticed this, especially as a musician myself. There's definitely a lyrical flow to your delivery, and I really, it's very captivating. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, and also I wanted to just talk about, you know, obviously you presented your feelings uh, about the geopolitical climate right now, but do you want to talk a little bit more about just how you're feeling in general with the current political climate? I really like the one about the mask and the 6 foot distance and the hamburgers and haircuts because I think I know some of the material that she references as well too. So I really like that. Yeah.
Right. Hmm. Man, there's just there's so much to say. And I feel like, yeah, that the pandemic has revealed more of who we are,
Yes.
which is really interesting and really scary.
Hmm.
Um, when you consider things like just how many people have died, and just not just the number of people who've died, but how fast they've died, and you know um, how that has just not only changed certain families, but an entire our entire social condition, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and it's really interesting how, despite that, people are like, oh, I'm still inconvenienced by
Mhm.
wearing a mask, or I'm still
Exactly.
inconvenienced by, whatever. And it's like,
Mhm.
um, I, I, I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
think that's a lot of the conversations that I've been having in the last couple of weeks with friends, families, and coworkers, and just in the sense of everybody's pretty much, and myself included, saying, "I don't know." I think at this point, the mundaneness of it and just the lack of communication with the government and etc. is really lending itself to just a lot of different, for lack of better words, just more division. And I think a lot of people are either faced to do a lot of introspection and to analyze what's deeper inside of them. And I think for some of them, there's a lot of quite vicious things inside of them. And I think your poetry really talks about that. And yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time and your words very much. So I was also going to mention, if you'd like to share one more, that'd be wonderful, because we have Vinicia actually showed up, and I would like for you to get the last word, not to put you on the spot, but if you'd like to share one more after she performs.
sure,
Okay,
sure,
perfect.
absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Well, Aston, do you want to go ahead and get that all taken care of? There we go. Hello, Vinicia. Let you get unmuted there. I always
There you
forget it
go.
myself.
Hi.
Hello, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
But of course, yeah, go ahead and take it away. And if you'd like to introduce yourself a bit more in the beginning, you're more than welcome to, or afterwards. But yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay. My name is Vinicia Evans, and the first song I'm going to play for you is a cover of a song called Dear Michael, sung by Michael Jackson. She wrote, Dear Michael, you probably never get this letter, Michael. I wrote you 100 times before, knowing how I feel. I'll write 100 more, dear Michael. Every time your record's on, Michael. Relax and sing along, dreaming you're singing to me. And then she wrote, Michael, I love you. I held the tears back long as I can. I'm singing my feelings in this song alone, 'cause I wanna be more than just your number one fan. I'm gonna answer your letter, starting with the ABCs of loving you. Your letter really touched my heart. I've been dreaming of meaning in the picture that you sent along. So with all your love, Michael.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right.
Yeah, that's a great song. Definitely.
Thank you.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah, so my name is Vinicia Evans. I'm a music educator, music teacher, a musician, and a moonologer. And I host an online show on Tuesdays at 1:11 p.m. on YouTube, Mindful Music and Meditation, where friends and I can get together and sit and meditate together and listen to some mindful music, raise our vibrations together, and use guidance from the moon to manifest our goals and intentions for the month ahead.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah. When did you start doing that?
In the beginning of, I think around February last year, in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, it sounds like a very healing thing. Definitely.
It was definitely necessary. It kept me on track and gave me something to look forward to and whatnot, and something separate than just doing homeschooling with my kids. I have two
Definitely.
boys.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Meditation is just a great way to ground yourself and to just feel, in the moment. So it's very nice. That's very cool. Yeah, we should definitely talk because I'm a musician myself too, and maybe I join y'all. That sounds really nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Definitely. Would you like to share one more, or would you like to?
That would, yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead and share one more.
Okay. With a child's heart, go face the worries of the day. With a child's heart, turn each problem into play. No need to worry. No need to fear. Just being alive makes it all so very clear. Ooh. With a child's heart, nothing can never get you down. With a child's heart, you've got no reason to frown. Love is as welcome as a sunny, sunny day. No grown-up thoughts to lead your heart astray. Oh my goodness. I just forgot the rest. And I already had a brain fart.
That's still resolved very well though.
Sorry, I just got home from kids and
No, yes, yeah,
and
no
I
worries.
have
Yeah,
not had a good transition.
we all know how it goes. Fridays are
Sorry.
time to unwind, but I'm glad you chose to perform nonetheless. Thank you so much, Vinicia, very
Thank
much.
you.
And where can we find you on social media and anything that you wish to share?
You can find me on probably anything under my name, Vinicia Evans.
Mhm.
You can also find me under Glow Up Gate, the hashtag Glow Up Gate, or Mindful Music and Meditation.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I'd like to definitely check that out for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. All right, we can go on now to Kashua. Would you like to share one more piece for us, please?
Sure, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Okay, so this one is, kind of a heavy piece, but I think it's like super necessary. So is called Black Children Are Committing Suicide. Black children are committing suicide, but you wouldn't notice. They are not the burning towers in France. Billionaires aren't donating life savings accumulated from sacrificing Black bodies to saving Black lives. And why would they? They're just a bunch of nigger kids. Not like white men going to movie theaters or schools leaving with body count. Black kids don't get to crumble by the weight of their own mental disorders. Black children are committing suicide, yet the added burden lies on them to be exceptional in their studies, sports, relations at home. As if this world has ever been heaven for Black children and their Blackness, despite their prayers, despite their goodness, their innocence, will be used against them in court or home. You say, how dare they take their own lives? It's a sin God will not forgive, and it's not for them to make that decision to take their lives. It's the state. It's the nooses decision. It's the bullets decision. It's the cops' decision. As if a Black child should ever settle for their lives as target practice. That's it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, yeah, you're very right about it being heavy, but I think I personally, my material is very much in the same light of dealing with the realities of society as a person of color, and I think that's a good note to end things on, just to keep people aware of the times that we're in and the things that have not changed in this country. So thank you very much once again, Akasha. Everybody give a round of applause for everybody tonight, but especially to Akasha, for our featured artist tonight. Thank you once again. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up. Once again, I'm Cipriano Ortega, and thank you very much for joining us tonight for our once a month open mic here at Sacred Voices. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much, everybody. You all have a good evening, and thank you for enriching my Friday night. You all take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.